Hello everybody and welcome to this video by the Vaidya's Chess Hub, and in this video we are going to talk about how to conduct your opening. This is an FAQ, a frequently asked question. How do I conduct my openings, or how do I develop my pieces? Well, the answer is very simple. I'm a firm believer of what Grandmaster World Champion Magnus Carlsen says. Keep it very simple, develop all your pieces, get a playable position out of the opening, and then take things from there. So let's just probably select a challenge with a timing which has an incremental um, thing. Let's select this game at random. This is a 5 minute 2 second increment, and I'm going to take you through the opening phase with explanation, of course. Our opponent is rated 1743. We are 1855, and he is open with 1d4. I'm going to go knight f6, development of a piece, nothing special. Remember, the policy is just to get the pieces out. So I'm playing e6. He did this purely to stop my bishop from coming on b4 to give a check, but that doesn't matter. I'll take the control in the center. This is also one of the opening principles. You always have got to have one pawn in the center. Center includes squares e4, e5, d4, and d5. And it's time for us now to develop the bishop so that we can get ready for castling and castle as soon as possible. So I'm going to do that. So basically, if you can see, it's terribly easy to learn how to conduct the opening. All I have done is not move the same piece twice. I have developed my king side first. I have castled as early as possible. I have placed a pawn in the center, firmly protected by the knight, by the pawn, by the queen. Things are looking good. Now my opponent has played knight c3, so he's also looking to develop pieces. Now that's the main thing. That's what you have to do. I think I'm going to play a move that will develop another piece. Well, I could play c6 here. I'm going to play the knight to c6. Now the main thing is you should avoid this capture at the moment, because then the bishop will recapture on c4. And that's exactly where the bishop wants to develop. So if you take, you allow the bishop to come on c4, where the bishop actually intends to go. So it's to take is a mistake in chess, they say, and it is true. So we are not going to help him, certainly. And now it's time to, how about playing a6 just to stop the b5. He'll play b5 anyway, even with the pawn, but I'm going to play a6 and stop it. Now the bishop has moved once. See, that's the beauty. So the bishop has moved once, and now it will be good if we can make the bishop move one more time. Notice if he had captured earlier, the bishop would have to move only once to c4. But now he first moved to d3, and now again bishop takes c4. And now you can attack the bishop with some momentum, initiative, and now the bishop can be fianchettoed along this particular diagonal, the a8 h1 diagonal. Okay, now if you notice, I'm explaining, so I'm a little low on time here. It should be okay. Now the knight has a good square, and the bishop would be aiming for this particular h7 square. Wouldn't be a bad idea if I play knight to d5. Knight to d5, okay. Knight to d5 maybe. Let's do that. Okay. Now you have this. I think I'm gonna go here. I'm also threatening this. Understood that. And I'm going to attack it more now. And if the pawn is pushed, I'm going to play knight to e5. So basically, the opening phase is over. That's what I wanted to highlight in this game, of how I kept things very simple. Just getting the pieces out. There shouldn't be a lot of fuss about the opening, because it just involves getting your pieces to squares where you really want them. Alright, and now I suppose it's good to get in f5. Remember, our bishop will play a major role once the knight is out. The bishop can take on f3. I'm happy about the bishop's placement. Now, of course, if he takes, I want to take back with the e-pawn. Mind you, this could also be good if I take and he takes and then I play knight takes. Okay, this actually is something here for me, I'm sure. But what exactly is there to it? Rather do the calculation quick. I'll take this one, he's gonna take this. Okay, I suppose the best idea is to play the bishop here, attacking it one more time, because if the knight moves, I have queen takes h2 mate, if he understands that. Now that this looks good. So if the knight moves, we are looking at queen takes h2 mate. Oh, he has not understood that. That's game over. Okay, so that's cool. I was just beginning to feel worried because I was terribly low on time, but there you go. There you go. You have to keep things simple in the opening. I'm sure you understood that from this game. Keep things very simple in the opening. Get a playable position and take things slowly from there. Do not move the same piece twice. Develop all your pieces, get them to decent squares, upon in the central squares, one of the central squares, and that should do it. Although I'm a little tempted to analyze this game. We got 8 rating points out of this, and now we are rated 1863. I'm tempted to analyze this. So our opponent opened with d4, we played knight to f6, he played c4, he played e6, and he played a3. Now let's see the computer has to say about it. We played d5 in the game, and well, one thing is for sure, it's a pawn in the center, so that can't be a bad move. Yes, the computer shows it as a candidate move. Yes, opponent played e3, and after this I suppose we played bishop e7. The computer also shows that, so I'm happy that we conducted the opening the way it should be. Now here he wanted us to fianchetto first, but what I think we played was knight to c6, and that's also okay. It's plus 0.34, okay, thereabout. So b4, and we played the a6 move. Happy we did that. And now the bishop moved once, and exactly what the computer is showing, if you see there, that's a good learning experience. I'm sure this video has done that. So the bishop moved, we were waiting for it, and then we captured on c4, making the bishop move one more time, and then we did attack on b5, and we completed our fianchetto with bishop b7. Now he castled, and basically the opening is over. After this, what starts in the middle game where you start planning and having a strategy in place. Overall, this position looks equal, and I'm sure that this was a good learning experience for you, and you've enjoyed this video because you've learned so many things out of the opening. So please leave your suggestions and comments, and please subscribe to the video, to the channel if you like this video. And as I always say, keep playing, keep enjoying, keep learning, and thank you so much for watching this video.